Season 10 of the AFLW has arrived. 18 teams start equal. Who will get it done in 2025? Will the Roos go back-to-back? Will the Lions come back for revenge? Will the Crows have a say on the big stage? Or will a few teams have their moment to shine? Like the Saints, who haven't yet made finals before, but the recruitments of Baskaran, Clark and Barr will have something to say. Oh, and of course, the return of the team's best player and star midfielder in Georgia Patrikios. Remember the name, Georgia Patrikios. Will the Pies rise up after drafting the biggest name from the draft in the number 1 draft pick, the young superstar in Ash Centra? Melbourne, is it finally their year to go back to the top where they feel they belong? McNamara flying, Kate Hoare flying, Molly O'Hare arriving. Will the D's go flying in 2025? Or will the Dockers and their returning duo of Kiara Bowers and Ange Stannett have something to say?
Is it Tiger time, led by the best player in the competition in Mon Conti and the player with the booming left foot kick in Ali McKenzie, Ali Dalloway, skipper Katie Brennan? Is it finally Tiger time?
Finally. Don't write off the Eagles. Got the best key defender in the game in Charlie Thomas and the most versatile player in the game and a young superstar in Ella Roberts. With booming young draftees like Lucia Painter, will the Eagles be painting their names as the Premier in 2025? Strap yourselves in. This season is going to be something special. I'm excited. Are you? Let's go!
The 2024 AFLW Premiers, they win by 30 points. Last year, they had the heartbreak. This year, they get the retribution. The Roos have done it by 30 points. Last year, heartbreak, as I said, turned to retribution.
Acknowledge me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SCOOPS AFLW show. Don't ask me why I ask you all to acknowledge me, but you can all acknowledge the fact that the North Melbourne Football Club are one step closer to repeating last year and becoming the premier of the AFLW competition. They had an easy victory over Hawthorn, like they did the week prior in the home and away season. So they get the week off. They'll host a home prelim final against either Melbourne or the Crows. Hawthorn get a second chance, but let's be real, they're likely going out in straight sets, just like I predicted. Unfortunately, for the Demons, they got the loss against the Lions in a relatively close game, but they get a second chance. And this week, they face the Crows, which means that spells the end, unfortunately, for my Saints and Eagles. They've both made their maiden AFLW Finals series appearance, and unfortunately, it was short-lived. But it wasn't without a great season of developing from a side that wasn't predicted to make finals in other people's opinions, but they were, in my opinion. They both really did really well this year. Both clubs should be really happy with how they got on. The Saints, well, my side, obviously, just having so many injuries at the wrong time. It was kind of taking a toll towards the back end of the year, and the results showed that, having like 10 players on the injury list, get a few back, but then lose a few as well. There's probably about 6 players that shouldn't be getting a game. Lack of support in the key forward stocks for Jesse Warlaw. The ruck stocks as a whole has been depleted and needs some work in the off season. I said that last year, but they were apparently happy with what they had. That's an area they need to address. The ruck stocks and key forward depth should be looking at more players like Mia Austin, players in that position that play tall forward, and rucks someone I would say they could maybe get out of a club. Look at a club like Carlton, who got 2 rucks, or North Melbourne got Kim Rennie and Emma King, and well, the Blues are Bryn Hetherington and Jess Good. Maybe you can get one of those 4 out of the club, just get them in, or ideally a marquee ruck like Mim Strom or something like that. Saints need to reassess after it was a disappointing game yesterday, although they did try, but unfortunately it was not good enough. The Eagles, they can be really proud of how they went this year. I mean, no one predicted them to make finals besides me, because I know talent and I know when teams will make finals. I know what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, it just wasn't for them yesterday or on Saturday. But they can be really hold their head up high. It was disappointing with how it transpired that third quarter where they conceded like 6 goals. But overall, this season, they'll be so proud. They got the best young player in the competition, Ella Roberts. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. 32 disposals, 20 contested possessions on the weekend, a goal, 2 behinds, like 9 intercepts. Ella Roberts doing Ella Robert things. She's the best young player in the competition. Lou Painter, who will be a contender for Rising Star this year, was a joint winner of my Rising Star Awards. You can go check out the Scoops medal. You can see who won the Scoops medal. Maybe a player I've just mentioned in this current episode already. You have to watch it to find out. Or their club I have mentioned so far. Maybe the individual themselves. Go and watch the Scoops AFLW medal. We really appreciate it. My Rising Star, my All-Australian team was revealed as well. So if you want to know who won those awards without watching it, or go and watch it, but the next 10 seconds, don't look at the screen. The winner was Ella Roberts by a few votes over Mon Conti and Ash Riddell. Ella had a terrific season. That's why she's a Scoops medal winner. The All-Australian team will be on the screen for you all to see there. Headlined by Ella Roberts, the Scoops medal winner, Mon Conti, Ash Riddell, Anya Madonna, Inti Tahu, Paige Trudgeon, Charlie Thomas, and everyone else on that list. But, for the Eagles, they can be really happy with how their season's gone. Lou Painter, Ella Roberts, Charlie Thomas, Belle Lewis. There's a lot of positives at the Eagles. Like I said, not many people, only I predicted them to make finals, and they did. And they made a great show of it to get to where they did. Again, like the Saints, just disappointing on the weekend. But unfortunately, it's just takes one loss, and that's all she wrote. Or 1 quarter in their case, when they conceded 6 goals in the third quarter. So, and the Saints, well, very similar in the first half. So, it is what it is. Both sides should be proud of how they've gone, but to get even better, which I know they will, both sides, just recruit some more players, don't get injuries, and both teams will be in finals yet again in 2026. Now, on the show today, we're going to go through, obviously, as I just mentioned, so my Scoops AFLW medal, go and check it out with all the awards: Rising Star, Most Valuable Player, Most Improved Player, a lot of WA talent involved in all the awards, a Rising Star as well, a few Carlton players involved as well, so go and check all that out. I would really, really appreciate it very much. I'm going to talk some trade talk, just with a few names today. Obviously, you can trade future picks, which some people don't know about still to this day. So when the AFLW trade period comes around, you can trade future picks, which helps Gold Coast and all their academy players, and potentially Charlie Rowbottom going out. Because they need to have a pick within 18 selections of a bid. There'll be 6 to 8 players in the academy. Probably 4 or 5 will be in the top 20. 3 of them might be top 5. So they've got a lot of wheelings and dealings to do. They maybe trade out future first and seconds to come into this draft. But then you got to see a club that wants to do that. Claudia Whitford and Charlie Rowbottom may be involved. But yeah, we'll get through that in just a second. Scoops goes bang. No more team of the week, but Scoops goes bang. And obviously going to go through the rounds just gone and upcoming. All right, let's start off with this. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. If you know any AFLW players or State League players or draft prospects and want to see them on the channel in a Gold King Challenge and or interview, please do send me a message, and we'll try and get something sorted. That's for sure. So we are going to start with the news. First of all, we'll start with the trade goss, to be honest. The trade goss does not involve Lily Goss. She's not going anywhere. She'll stay at the Blues, no doubt about it. Having a great year, the Goss, Lily Goss. But the gossip is Grace Egan is out of the Tigers. Will be seeking a new opportunity elsewhere. I exclusively revealed this last week, the day before it was public. To be honest, I kind of knew earlier than that, but got the all clear the day before everyone else posted it. I could see this coming from a mile away. I'd been hearing a few things that they didn't get along with the coach and everything like that. They just obviously didn't see her in her plans. Grace, I'm sure, will get an opportunity elsewhere, but it won't be at Richmond. They need to change things up, Richmond. Maybe some staff need to change from the top end as well, and just, have a fresh start, because the side that made finals last year, to have the same side, and then you had Sierra Greaves in the draft, who's a young star, and then you go really, really bad, go from finishing 5th or 6th to like bottom 4. So really disappointing. Things need to be changed. Answers need to be answered, and things need to change. But Grace Egan, people, straight away go, oh, yeah, Freo to join her sister Holly. I'd be confident in saying that won't be happening, because just because she's her sister doesn't mean she's going to go there. Fremantle got a stacked midfield. Kiara Bowers, Aisling McCarthy, Gabby Newton, Hayley Miller, and Ange Stanton playing forward at the moment. So where would Grace even fit in this side? I guess Bowers is older, but for me, that's not the right fit. I see someone like GWS is a perfect fit for Grace Egan. Play every week, and they need experienced, big-bodied midfielders. The Giants are really, really, really light on in all positions on the ground, in every area of the field, and that would partially answer their midfield worries as well, the Giants. So I think Grace Egan will be a great fit for the Giants. No fact behind GWS being interested, but that'd be a logical fit. Mia Austin, I've been mentioning for a while. First of all, it was great to see her play on the weekend, for a whole range of reasons. One being, she deserves to be playing. She's one of the best young key forwards in the competition. Just haven't been given the great amount of opportunities this year. Obviously, Tara Brahana came to the club. The 2 rucks have been playing, and they just haven't been playing it too much. And when they have played her, they've taken her straight out. Great to see her back in. But she's been through hell and back the last few weeks. She lost her first cousin in that tragic cricket incident, which I'm sure you've all seen. So we're all thinking of you, Mia. We really feel for you. It was great to see you back out there on the field honouring your late cousin. I'm sure he's proud of you, and we all love you, Mia, and we're all thinking of you very much. Which is, just something you don't ever want to hear about anything, about anyone. It just brings back the Philip Hughes incident. So we're thinking of you, Mia, and we wish you all the best, and everyone in the Austin family. It was great to see you get that goal. It was an emotional goal, no doubt about it. I was wanting West Coast to win, but, when Mia was having a shot, you just wanted it to go in for her on the 3/4 time siren. They already won at that point. But regardless, even if it was close, I still would have wanted Mia to get that. And, it was great to see her get that goal and have that moment. But yeah, we're thinking of the Austin family and Mia at this time. Maggie Gorham, someone at the Bulldogs have been saying that she should be looking elsewhere. They played her in the back end of the year, played her to a wing. She's a halfback. She was in their top 3 defenders last year with Izzy Grant and Elizabeth Georgia-Southis. I don't understand why she hasn't been getting a regular game. She has to be playing as a back line player. She should look elsewhere. I'm pretty sure she's from Canberra or Sydney or something like that. So she should look at the Giants as well. We'll get a lot more opportunity, guaranteed games every week as well. The Giants need a lot of help everywhere, as I just mentioned. So that's one there. Now, Chrissy Lee Weston Turner, there was talk last week that, North Melbourne are interested, Hawthorn and Brisbane. That is correct. But like I exclusively revealed last week, and I've hinted at throughout the year with Chrissy Lee Weston Turner, in fact, not even hinted, told you all, I don't expect her to stay there. The stories at the Bulldogs there's a lot of drama at the Bulldogs. There continues to be drama at the Western Bulldogs. They can twist it however they like. You don't have a number 1 draft pick not be picked. In preseason she had a concussion. Yeah, okay, that was for the practice matches. But then we're throughout the year and you can't even give her a game. It was emergency a few times. Had been training, so I don't want to hear it's a concussion issue. But she'd been emergency, been training. It was dropped, I think, once. Maybe played 2 games this year, or maybe 1, if that. So trouble at the kennel. Doesn't shock me at all. Drama everywhere there, as it has always been for a few years at least now. But yeah, she wants to leave the Western Bulldogs, and as I can exclusively reveal / add to that conversation that she's been frustrated, disappointed, and angry for how she's been treated, and rightfully so. But she's not the first and only player to be treated like shit, or person involved with them to be treated like garbage. That just goes to the Western Bulldogs recruiting. I mean, they're got to be to blame for this. I mean, outside of Elaine Grigg, who have they drafted in the last 2 drafts that have succeeded at the Bulldogs? I mean, Emma McDonald had the back end of this year go all right, but the start was really quiet. Brooke Barwick hasn't played many games and not been given much opportunity. You know, Cleo Butterfield was a high draft pick. Haven't seen much of her. You know, so whether that's through injury or just form or whatever. So let's just say that the Bulldogs haven't nailed their drafts in the last 2 years at all. Elaine Grigg would be the only one that has stood out. Sarah Powsey had moments, but again, in and out of the side as well. So that's on the recruiters, and they got to do better. I mean, in the draft, Westo was pick 1. That's when Port Adelaide pre-listed Loz Young, Sinead Goody, Piper Window. Well, Piper Window wasn't a pre-draft signing, nominated SA. But, you know, you look at Port Adelaide stack their talent for that draft, albeit most of them being pre-season signings. Yeah, they got the job done. They recruited well, where Bulldogs have not. So, yeah, I think Westo, I don't think she will leave the Western Bulldogs. She is a Western Bulldogs supporter growing up. And, you know, just seeing how much she loved the place before she was drafted and when she was drafted, those same thoughts aren't here now, 2 years later. The big exclusive I've dropped about a month ago, not even a month ago, was Charlie Rowbottom and Claudia Whitford. One of those Suns starred midfield duo will leave the club to fit in more selections. But now with the ability of future trading, can they find a way to somehow retain both players? I would still look at moving Claudia Whitford out. She's injured. She's a bit older than Charlie. Charlie's way much of a better player than her. They need to do something because they're not going to get all these players injured with the picks they got, because the bids will come. Clubs know it. So the Ava Ushers, the Sunny Lappins, Georgia Davies, Annabelle Fote, Alana Welsh, Dakota Barron, Sienna Burnham. There's a few others as well, Michaela Nurse. So they're not going to be able to get them all. They're not. So they're going to lose a few. The clubs will bid earlier just to piss them off, so they can't get them all. But they will probably trade out their future first and second pick of next year to see who will bite for that. If that will happen, time will tell. But probably Charlie Rowbottom or Claudia Whitford's got to go to be able to be a better chance at retaining most, if not all, of those players. But if I was them, you're not getting rid of Charlie Rowbottom. I know she's tried to go the last few years. Unless she wants to go, that's a different story. But I wouldn't be trading her out. It'd be Whitford with the one that goes. If she's there, she's fine. If she's not there, they can, you know, the results won't be much difference. Charlie Rowbottom, though, is a game changer. And they're one, she's one they don't want to lose if they can, you know, afford not to. So that's the trade goss from Scoops for this episode. Now, it is time for that world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. Boom. Wow. 3 topics I ran on about. First of all, the fixturing for this week's semi-finals. You've got a Friday night empty and vacant. You've got Sunday all day vacant. You've got Saturday 1:05 at Icon Park and Saturday 7:15 p.m. at Icon Park. Who in their right mind schedules 2 games within 6 hours of each other at the same venue when Friday night is available? Now I'm going to hear something about bullshit 5-day breaks, 6-day breaks. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean much at all. And even if it does, bad luck. You play for professional sport, you can play in 5 or 6 days. They've done it throughout the year, so why can't they do it now? Now, why are you advantaging teams that lost? Hawthorn lost. They played Friday night. Carlton played Saturday. So, and that's who are playing each other. Why isn't that Friday night? Melbourne and Adelaide both played Sunday, so why is that not Saturday night? Like, the logic just goes out the window from the AFL. Andrew Dillon does not know how to run a competition at all in the men's or the women's league, it seems. Everyone in charge of making these calls need to go. I mean, all you have to do is look at Andrew Dillon adding in the wildcard round in the men's, which I'm sure will follow soon in the women's not too long after. Then look at this. They're playing an NFL game a day or two before a final series at the MCG. Laughable as well. Who asks for 10 teams in a final series? No one asks for that. Like, they don't care what we think. They made that pretty damn clear they don't care how we think. But fixturing two AFLW semi-finals on the same day at the same venue within 6 hours of each other, 4 hours if you count when the game's over, that's completely stupid. Friday night should have been Hawthorn-Carlton. Because Hawthorn slightly finished high on the ladder, therefore they had a little advantage. Melbourne-Adelaide both played Sunday, you played them Saturday night. Simple as that. Adelaide played at home, Melbourne played at home. It cancels that out. Logic within the AFL, they don't have logic. They're stupid, and they don't know what they're doing. Simple as that. They made it crystal clear they don't know what they're doing, and they don't know what they're talking about. No matter what stuff they want to spew out, it's just garbage. It is just garbage. Now, that's not all. The umpiring in the Hawthorn-North Melbourne game and the Carlton-West Coast game was nothing short of a disgrace. The Melbourne-Brisbane game umpiring wasn't great either, but the first two games, oh boy. And the first game in particular, Hawthorn, free kick Hawthorn, then North got a few frees in the third quarter, but the umpiring as a whole was so embarrassing that you had Bronx cheers from the crowd, boos, players were down injured, play wasn't being stopped, players weren't being taken off when Madonna was injured. She had to walk off on her own because no trainers helped her out there. The umpires took all day to not allow a player to come on to replace Madonna and then go on with the game. There was multiple delays for unnecessary reasons because the AFL umpires don't know. The people that umpires in this game on the weekend clearly don't know how to officiate a game. Therefore, they should not be able to umpire any more final series. If I see any of those three umpires, central umpires, that umpired in the North Melbourne Hawthorn game on grand final day, just proves my point even more. The umpires don't know what they're doing, and neither do the AFL. How you could have those umpires umpire a final is beyond me. They don't even know their own rules. People behind the fence like myself know the rules better than the umpires do themselves. So I don't understand how you can continue to stuff simple things up. It is so damn embarrassing. It is quite laughable how bad umpiring is in AFL and AFLW. The umpiring is none other than a disgrace. And it's led by the top, Andrew Dillon, Laura Kane, everyone in charge. They are embarrassing themselves. And bring back Gillan McLaughlin. I've said this for a very, very long time, and maybe they should actually do it. Lift your game to the umps. It's pathetic. And to the people fixturing the competition, actually do it to everyone's advantage and be smart. Don't be dumb. Oh, speaking of dumb. Well, not dumb, but speaking of outrageous calls. The All-Australian squad for the AFLW was released. Now, I don't know who was on the panel. No matter who's on the panel, it's generally pretty average and bang average anyway. Now, first of all, I want to stress enough congratulations to all 42 players who made the All-Australian squad. So, Neve Kelly, Ebony Marinoff from the Crows, from Brisbane Lions, Belle Dawes, Jennifer Dunn, Jade Allinger, and Courtney Hodder. For Carlton, Dana Finn, Harriet Corner, Aaron Fitzpatrick. For the Pies, Tani White. For the Bombers, Amy Gaylor. For the Dockers, Gabby Newton, Mim Strom, and Emma O'Driscoll. For Geelong, Michaela Bowen, Georgie Pasparkas, Aisling Maloney. For the Suns, Neve McLaughlin. For the Giants, Zali Goldsworthy and Cambridge McCormick. For Hawthorn, Tilly Lucas-Rod and Anya Madonna. For Melbourne, Maeve Chaplin, Tyler Hanks and Kate Hoare. For the Roos, Libby Birch, Blaheem Bogue, Jazz Garner, Emma Carney and Talia Randall and Ash Riddell. For the Power, Gemma Houghton, Indy Tahu and Matilda Schultz. For the Tigers, Mon Conti. For the Saints, T. Smith and Serene Watson. For the Swans, Laura Gardner, Montana Ham and Zippy Fish. For the Eagles, Ella Roberts. And for the Bulldogs, Izzy Pritchard. Now, okay, where do I begin with this? Where the hell, and I mean where the hell is Charlie Thomas? where the hell is Paige Trudgeon? And where the hell is Aisling McCarthy and Charlie Rowbottom? You cannot be serious. How can you tell me that this All-Australian team was done well? Plain and simple, the stats back up what I'm about to tell you. Now, first of all, Aisling McCarthy averaged 24 disposals for a midfielder, about 7 clearances a game or thereabouts, and score involvements, kicks, goals. Midfielders that kick goals are a premium, even play a little bit forward if need be. How can she not make the squad over, why they have so many extra tall plays? I don't know. She was clearly better than Izzy Pritchard. She was better than Zippy Fish. She was better than Amy Gaylor. She was better than Jennifer Dunn. It just doesn't make any sense. Charlie Rowbottom was better than Izzy Pritchard as well. So if we're going to base it off positional moves, there's Ian McLaughlin getting this team through half-back or midfield. Tyler Hanks is in here as well. So for me, Izzy Pritchard should not be here in the team or the squad, and Aisling McCarthy should take her place, and Charlie Rowbottom should be in the team for Amy Gaylor. Now, there's a few others that I may forget to say that shouldn't be here. But as for the defenders, Paige Trudgeon had so many intercepts this year, just locked down her forwards and done a great job. The stats back her up as well. Jennifer Dunn, I feel like, got in here because the AFL wanted more top team representation. So not saying Jennifer Dunn didn't have a good year because she was obviously fine, but Paige Trudgeon was better. And the biggest snub of it all is that Charlie Thomas, the best defender in the competition, can't get in again over Jennifer Dunn and Libby Birch and Emma Carney. Emma Carney missed 5 games for the Roos. Played well when she played, but didn't play enough games for me. Chloe Malloy didn't get in for the same reason, so why is Emma Carney in for that exact reason that Chloe Malloy wasn't there? No logic in the AFL. So Jennifer Dunn and Emma Carney should be out of this squad for Paige Trudgeon and Charlie Thomas. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You could argue maybe that Belle Dawes could have been out of this side with Pritchard for Charlie Rowbottom and Aisling McCarthy as well. Now, some other moves that pissed me off. So Libby Birch, Emma Carney, and Jennifer Dunn should not be in this side. Amy Gaylor should not be in this side either. Some players that got in here. Now, some logic I heard about Eden Zanker and Jesse Warlord, 2 key forwards, not making it is okay, look, I get it. Consistency. Consistency is why they didn't make it. And you know what? I was able to cop that on the chin and go, yep, I agree. Zanker kicked bags of 5s and 4s, etc., but then was gone missing for some games. So I get it. There was a 5, 4, and 4 for this season. The rest were relatively quiet. Obviously, some solid performances, but not for this squad. So I understood that. Jesse Waller, very similar, had some game-changing games, bags of 3s and a lot of disposals in some games. The Port game comes to mind, the comeback. She had 3 or 4 goals in the last quarter alone to help us beat Prolate after they choked a 32-point lead, the biggest choke in AFLW history. So, why the hell did Aisling Maloney then make the team? Aisling Maloney is a good forward, good player. But we want to talk about consistency. So Zanker and Warlord didn't get in because they weren't consistent enough, but Aisling Maloney got in. That defeats all logic right there. Because if you're going to go off total goals, then Zanker and Warlord were better than Maloney, and all 3 were inconsistent throughout the year. So if you're going to pick an inconsistent player of the 3, it is clearly Jesse Warlord and Eden Zanker over Aisling Maloney. This is just a crock of shit. The people making this squad don't know what they're doing. Now, Mimstrom is clearly the best ruck in this crop, so Matilda Schultz is just there because they named a second ruck. Will they name 2 rucks in the team? Time will tell. People were crying about Lucy Wales not making the team. Obviously, they named 2 rucks in the squad, and Mimstrom was by far the best ruck in the comp this year, and Matilda Schultz was the second best. So I don't see why people are complaining about the rucks. There's a lot of flaws in the people that make these, that pick these teams, to be honest. The people that are making these squads ideas have no idea. I would love to see Dana Finn, Gabby Newton, Georgia Pasparkas be rewarded for their form this year, and T. Smith as well. Montana Ham had a great year. Ella Roberts obviously was great, one of the best player this year for me. Monconti deserves to be in the team as well. Indy Tahu deserves to be in the team, clearly. She got the most goals, well on to Indy on that. Deserved her All-Australian spot. In my team of the year, most goals, obviously was out for 2 years, was a defender, and then this year killed it and won the Colemans. So that's a credit to her work she's put in Indy, coming back off her ACL injuries and moving from the back line to the forward line and winning the Coleman in her first year as a full forward. So that's great work from Indy. But yeah, the rest of this squad, I can and ah about a few others, but off the top of my head, they're the ones I was really annoyed with. Comment down below what you think. Hopefully the final team is good, but that still doesn't excuse players that didn't make the squad. Charlie Thomas, Paige Trojan, Aisling McCarthy, and Charlie Rowbottom have been absolutely robbed right in front of me. Absolutely bullshit, if you ask me. To the people selecting the team of the year, lift your game and don't stuff up the final team like you stuffed up this squad. But knowing how the track record goes, you'll stuff up the team just like you stuffed up everything else. All right, hope you all enjoyed that edition of the world-famous segment, Scoop Goes Bang. Now we're going to review and preview the finals matchups. So let's go through the 4 finals that happened on the weekend. Elimination finals and qualifying finals. North Melbourne 42, Hawthorn 3, 39 points to the Roos. Now, to be fair to Hawthorn, they did better than the last encounter. North Melbourne did have a purple patch, in the game, where they got like 3 or 4 goals when Blaheem Bowe got the goal, Talia Randall, Alice O'Loughlin. So that was the damage there. They weren't disgraced, but they were not good going forward. Jenna Richardson, I thought, played really well in the back line. Keely Coyne had her moments as well. Eliza West played well. Anya Madonna had moments that she didn't capitalise on her shots in front of goal. Some good tackling and pressure and everything like that. The Roos, Riddell and Garner did solid. But yeah, O'Loughlin, I thought Alice O'Loughlin was the Roos' best player and one of their best players. They had even contributors along the board. Ailey Sheeran and Mia King didn't play this game. They'll both likely play the prelim, which is where I see Tessa Boyd going out of the side for Ailey Sheeran. For Mia King, I think maybe it's Bella Reddy, but she kicked a goal and had 17. So, someone's going to be stiff, whoever goes out for Mia King and Ailey Sheeran, who will walk up starts to the team because they're both great players. But yeah, that's that game. Hawthorn have to play this week against Carlton, who I think might win that. Speaking of Carlton, 60, West Coast 19, 41 points. Wet conditions, pouring rain in this one. The North game was a bit of rain and overcast and everything like that. Bit of spit of rain. This game, it was pouring for a lot of it, or consistent rain. Ella Roberts was amazing. 30 disposals, 1 goal, 2, 20 contested possessions. Just Ella Roberts doing Ella Roberts just doing Ella Robert things. The best player in the competition this year. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you don't think so, then I'd love to hear who you think, because you're going to have to mount a strong case. Ella is just so exciting. She just lights up the team. When she got that goal, I thought, here we go. Lou Painter leading the back line. The forward line. Lou leading the forward line in her first year. Just amazing from her. The leadership she provides in her first year, which is just such a credit to her. The work she puts in. The Eagles, like I said, off the top, they'll be really disappointed. Daisy Pierce, I'm sure, will be really disappointed with how the game went. They're much better than that. They played Carlton only the week before and only just lost. So, they hit the front in the last quarter of the last matchup when Lou got that goal to make it 5 points about 10 minutes ago, then lost by 20. So they were in it to win it. This week, when Ella got that goal, they were about 10 points down in the second quarter. So I thought, okay, they're a chance here. But then Carlton just took over. Sophie McKay was amazing. 2 goals, 19 disposals. Abby McKay played her part. Harriet Corner had some moments. Dana Finn had some moments. Aaron Fitzpatrick was really good with 2 goals and 24. The ruck, Bryn Hetherington, was dominant. Belle Lewis had a moment for the Eagles, and so did Lou Painter. But in the end, unfortunately, the Eagles' season is over. Jay Britton also was very, very good. And Carlton just took control in the ruck battle as well. 2-on-1. Melbourne 43, Brisbane 56. 13 points to the Lions. Melbourne get a second chance this week against the Crows. Brisbane have the week off before they host a home prelim against Carlton or Hawthorn. If it's Carlton, it'll be really tough. If it's Hawthorn, I think they'll easily win that. Carlton are just in form at the right time. But yeah, you know, Courtney Hodder and Taylor Smith both had their 75th game. So well done to both those girls. Both had a great career so far. Courtney Hodder got a goal in her milestone game, which I got on film. And, well, here it is.
Davidson centers it.
That's yours, Molly.
Oh, Hodder. Bang. Courtney Hodder strikes for the Lions. They kicks their fourth and they extend their lead to 9 points. Started the third one on Hodder.
Yep, so Courtney Hodder kicked a goal in a milestone game. Taylor Smith had some moments as well. You know, Melbourne started really well. Zanka had a concussion. She won't play next week. Maeve Chaplin's unlikely, Melbourne say. And Jennifer Dunn may not play next week either. She may well, but she has some swelling on her knee or knee soreness or something and had to play through it in the game. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, time will tell. But, you know, Ellie Anderson, Belle Dawes, Lily Postlethwaite, Jade Ellinger all played their part for the Lions. For Melbourne, it was Tyler Hanks who played really well, along with Megan Fitzsimon, Kate Hoare, who kicked her 100th goal in her career. Now the second AFLW player to reach 100 goals before or after Gemma Houghton, who kicked 100 in the last round of home and away season against the Giants. And then Kate Hoare got it again, or not again, but got it on the weekends. One to Kate for being the second player, and one again to Gemma Houghton for kicking the most goals, or most goals first to 100 goals in AFLW history. But in the end, Brisbane just stepped it up in the second half and just took over. When Zanka went off, Melbourne kind of, you know, I wouldn't say they completely switched off, but they struggled a little bit. Zanka forward's a big loss, especially when Maeve Chaplin, the best defender, wasn't playing. But they got Talia Gillard, still got Alyssa Bannon, so they've still got a good team, Melbourne. Just wasn't to be in the second half, and Brisbane got a lot cleaner and more efficient in front of goal as well. Adelaide 60, Saints 16, a bit like the Eagles, rinse and repeat. Unfortunate to see what happened. Georgia Patrikios was really good, a goal in 26. Serene Watson had 29 disposals and at one point was on 7 intercepts in the first quarter, so playing with over 12, but it's really disappointing, but that's how the season ends. I'm not shocked with all the injuries we've got. Chelsea Randall and Neve Kelly were back for Adelaide. Of course they were against the Saints. That's what always happens. And we lose players. But it is what it is. Really disappointing. Proud of the club for getting to the final series when everyone doubted us, just like they doubted the Eagles. Really happy with the girls to make it to the final series. We're really disappointed with how it's ended. Hopefully we can recruit some key forwards that are good players to go alongside Wardlaw, and actual rucks would be great. But Adelaide were too good. Chelsea Randall back is a key influence. Tia Charlton kicked the first goal of the game, which is good for her and the Crows. You know, Marinoff and Hatcher just did what they normally do, which is no surprise. Now let's wrap the show up this evening by previewing the two semi-finals. So 1:05 p.m. at Icon Park, Saturday. Melbourne hosting Adelaide at Icon Park, 1:05 p.m. Victorian time on Saturday. I'll be tipping Melbourne to win this one by 5 points, but there'll be no win in Zanka. And potentially Maeve Chaplin won't be back. And a few changes do need to be made at the Demons because they were deplorable at times on the weekend. But yeah, Melbourne for me by 5 points. 7:15 p.m. at Icon Park Saturday night. It's Hawthorn and Carlton. I'll be tipping Carlton this one to make Hawthorn go out in straight sets. Carlton to win by 22 points. Hawthorn are absolutely pretenders, and I can't wait to enjoy, hopefully, Hawthorn going out in straight sets. Thank you all for watching this week's episode of the Scoops AFLW show. More trade news, more chat next week. More content throughout the weeks, of course. Matchday vlogs, go and check all of them out if you haven't already. The Instagram, AFL Info Live, all the golking challenges and interviews, everything in between. And if you know any AFLW players, state league players, or draft prospects, and you want to see them on the channel in a golking challenge and or interview, please do send me a message and we'll try and get something sorted. Thank you all for watching. Till the next video, take care, thank you, and well done, Saints, on your season, but it wasn't meant to be in this year with all the injuries. Go Saints.